What up, ladies and gentlemen? So, a man named John Gorham says that you have to be crazy. That's right, crazy to not choose a Tesla over other EVs. That's a pretty big, bold claim from this gentleman, but that's what he's sticking by. He says it's okay if you were to buy a BYD and a Tesla, but anything else would be just dumb, straight up dumb. Why even bother do that? And it makes you wonder, who is this guy and where does he get these credentials to even say the things that he's saying? A little bit about John Gorham is he's part of the New England Motor Press Association and an expert vehicle tester. He completed an engineering program specifically based for electric vehicles. And on top of that, he also did 20 years of work in high tech plus auto supply chain. So I guess you could sum it up and say he's pretty much an expert on electric vehicles. So this man says that it's just plain dumb to not buy a Tesla. And what's even funnier is that I don't even think this guy is a Tesla fanboy like me. But yet he still has a strong opinion about Tesla in the positive light. So one of his first points, and I quote, he says, "As ridiculous as it may sound, 28 years into the modern age of EVs, the industry has not yet standardized on an electric vehicle fast charging connection." So the one thing about having an EV, which can be a little stressful, would be the charging experience. And there's only 3 charging stations that are in the United States of America. So the other charging stations in America have been working for some time, but I guess a lot of people can say they haven't been really so well. But what I can say is that Tesla, they created the North American charging standard, and everyone is pretty much switching over to this, basically going to be the #1 charging station in America. And it also looks like other charging stations may disappear sometime in the next future. So Tesla, who built the North American charging standard, pretty much has the best seamless experience for charging any electric vehicle. And Ford was the first to adopt it on their new coming electric vehicles in 2025. They're basically going to have the Tesla port charger implanted into their truck. So it's going to be pretty much the North American standing charger on the Ford electric trucks from this point on. And not only just the trucks, just all their electric vehicles. And funny enough, after Ford admitted out loud publicly that they're going to be adopting the North American charging station onto their cars, everyone else started to fall in line really quickly. And it makes you wonder why. So not only are other car companies going to be just adopting the North American charger standard onto their cars, but they're also going to be integrating the Tesla software into their cars as well, and also onto their cell phones, so that whenever they go to a Tesla charging station, all the software is into the car already, fully integrated. So it's not going to be something that's completely separate. They're basically going to have Tesla on the inside of their electric vehicles. So the man John himself said in 2024 is the beginning of the end for all other charging stations outside of the North American charging standard. This guy's predicting the future. Most people who own EVs will say about the same thing. The charging experience is the worst and stupidest and suckiest part of it all. But to anyone who has a Tesla, they never really have these complaints at all because Tesla has a very seamless charging station built out infrastructure, different from everyone else. Even though other ones have been around longer, Tesla seems to have figured it out in a different way, and they're doing it much better. It's a seamless experience. And not only that, they made adapters for other electric vehicles to put on their cars so that they can go to a North American charging standard. And everyone who has the adapter to go to a Tesla station says the same thing. It is a seamless and easy process. Nothing like Electrify America or the other companies, I believe it's the Chads or something like that. Everyone else who goes to those stations say the same thing. It is a very uncomfortable, unpleasant experience. The charging doesn't go very seamlessly. It might stop in between, and there is just no outcome of how long it may take. But when it comes to the Tesla North American charging standard, it's always the same exact thing. You pull up, you plug in, and it's going to take you about 35 to 45 minutes to get about 80% battery. And soon, the amount of time that it actually takes to charge your EV now in the future will be a lot less. We're saying it could take anywhere from 30 minutes to eventually 25 minutes. We're talking in the future, though. But this will be the outcome of charging stations. So the only EV that is not having this charging issue that all the other cars are experiencing would be the Tesla. And this is because Tesla has figured out how to properly create a charger that works seamlessly, that has no issues. And basically, the idea of buying an electric vehicle, why not just buy a Tesla? Because they are already fully integrated with the North American charging standard on them. So that's basically what this guy is saying, is that if you're going to buy an EV, why not just buy a Tesla? But this is coming from a guy who's been in the game of testing cars for years. And this is his final conclusion. It makes you wonder, this guy isn't being biased, is he? But it seems like he's not. And that does seem like a very awesome insight to hear from an individual who is just skilled on electric vehicles, cars, and the supply chain. Well, that's a short rant today. You don't have to agree with everything, but I do say this guy is dropping some bombs. It may piss a lot of people off, but oh well. Anyhow, tune in tomorrow for more information about what's going on with the big tech, automotive industry, and where Tesla's going. I'll see you guys next time. See you tomorrow.